Most people think power comes from elections, armies, or technology. But real power almost always comes from something quieter, from who controls the money and who is forced to trust it. In the last few years, something strange has happened. Governments printed trillions. Interest rates jumped faster than at any time in modern history. Banks that looked untouchable suddenly collapsed over a weekend. And yet, the system insists everything is under control. This isn't chaos. It's a pattern. Throughout history, financial systems don't collapse because of one mistake. They collapse when trust is stretched further than it can survive. Modern money is not backed by gold. It's backed by belief. Belief that debts will be honored. Belief that institutions will act rationally. Belief that tomorrow will look enough like today. When that belief weakens, everything changes. Look at how money is created today. Most of it isn't printed, it's borrowed into existence. Every loan creates new money, and every repayment destroys it. That means the system only stays stable if debt keeps expanding. Growth isn't optional. It's structural. For decades, this worked. Low interest rates encouraged borrowing. Asset prices rose. Governments ran deficits without immediate consequences. But there's a limit. When inflation appeared, central banks faced a choice they hadn't faced in years. Protect the currency or protect the system. They chose the currency. Interest rates rose. And suddenly, the math changed. Assets built on cheap money stopped working. Banks holding long-term bonds began bleeding quietly. Governments discovered that servicing debt now competed with everything else: healthcare, defense, stability itself. Nothing broke. The assumptions did. This is why financial stress today feels different. It's not panic in the streets. It's pressure inside balance sheets. When banks fail now, they don't look reckless. They look unlucky. They followed the rules of the system that no longer exists. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Every major financial reset in history begins this way. Not with collapse, but with repricing. Repricing of risk. Repricing of trust. Repricing of who matters. During these periods, wealth doesn't disappear. It moves. Those closest to the system adapt first. They gain access, liquidity, protection. Those further away feel stability last and lose it first. This is not conspiracy. It's structure. Money always flows toward credibility, and credibility is enforced, not voted on. That's why crises produce consolidation. Fewer banks, stronger states, more centralized control. Not because someone planned it, but because fragility demands order. We are living through one of those transitions now. Not the end of money, not the collapse of capitalism, but a quiet reshaping of power. The question isn't whether the system will survive, it's who it will serve next. History shows us this clearly. Every financial order looks permanent until it doesn't, and every new one claims to be more stable than the last, until trust stretches again. If you understand this pattern, the world stops looking random. Inflation, rate hikes, debt crises, bank rescues, they become connected. Not events, signals. And once you start seeing money as power, you realize the most important changes never announce themselves. They happen quietly, on balance sheets, in interest rates, and in who is allowed to fail. That's the real story behind modern finance, and it's far from over.